everybody, and welcome. Today we're talking about One Hell of a Summer, and I had one hell of a time at this movie. And right now is actually one hell of a time of year for horror comedies. And yes, this movie is a horror comedy. It is about 90% comedy, 10% horror, and it is directed by Finn Wolfhard, his director-theatrical debut, and his friend. Friend Wolfhard you might know from Stranger Things. That was very popular, as well as in the last two Ghostbusters movie. And I believe his friend that he directed this with was also in maybe one or both of the Ghostbusters movie. I can't remember on the top of my head. I might have that wrong. But those were directors of this horror comedy. And it's just a horror comedy about summer camps. And I am a fan for those type of movies. I like them. I like campy horror. Give me a summer camp movie, comedy. Give me that. I really was looking forward to this movie. And I had a fun time. It didn't meet my expectations 100%, but I had a fun time with it. So going into my pros for this, I do want to give the acting performances. I enjoyed the performances from everyone on the cast here we got. And I enjoyed the stereotypes how everybody acted. I enjoyed it. I also like they tried to escape, because some movies they just don't leave and there's like stay and they don't try to escape. And I like that they try to escape every angle and they try to leave and they get help. And I'm glad they did that. I really am. And I also liked the comedy in this for the most part. It's more of a mixed, but the comedy for me is a pro because I really did enjoy it for the most part. I do think a little bit of it was overdone, so maybe little things, jokes didn't really laugh at, cringe maybe once or twice, but for the most part I did enjoy the comedy in this. And like I said before, it mainly is 90% comedy, 10% horror, but I really did enjoy this. I like specifically things that they had the main character named Jason, and Friday the 13th, the main character named Jason, like the slasher for that movie that started all of it. I really like they did that. I also liked the jokes they made along with one certain character. Now, there was one thing I want to talk a little bit later about, but I really enjoyed that character and how things kind of made fun of like that. So there was definitely things I enjoyed, like most aspects of this movie, and that says a lot. And those are the big things I liked about this movie, and that was mainly what this movie is. I had a really fun time with this. I do want to say I had a fun time with this movie. I don't really have any mixed. I don't personally. For me, this is my type of movie. I enjoyed it. And I only have a few negatives, not a lot though. My first negative is going to be the off-screen kills. There was one particular one I'm talking about when I say this, but there was a kill that involved a guitar, and it would have been one of the most unique kills in the movie, and I feel like that would have really been a great addition to the opener, but they just didn't show it on screen. And like I said, that's unfortunate because it was probably the most unique kill of the movie, and I would have added more to my likeness if they did that. I also didn't like the ending of this. I felt no romantic tension between the two at the end. I'll say it like that. I didn't enjoy that. I was really hope they would not go down that way, but unfortunately, they did. And this movie is not going to be for a lot of people. This is not movie isn't going to be for everyone. So let's talk some spoilers. The first spoiler I really want to talk about here is the motivation. I was not a fan of motivation. I think it could have been done a lot better, or better at all. The motivation for this movie literally was just to get famous. I feel like that was done in either Scream, I think one of the newer Scream movies. That was one of the motivations. Can't remember which one on top of my head, but I just did not really like that as motivation for this. I feel like they could have done so much better, but they did not. There's also two killers in this, the couple as well, and we already had that a little bit with another movie this year. It's a little bit similar but a little different, and I'm feeling a little bit more indifferent about that, but we also had that. And the killers I thought were interesting. The mask looked okay to me. Their motivation was not a fan of. I do think that, the way they went out was pretty basic, and the way that the movie ended as well, I felt no romantic tension between Jason and the other girl. I felt no romantic tension. I didn't get it. I did not like they went that. Even when I was sitting down, I was like, please don't do it, please don't do it. And they kiss at the end, and that is so disappointing to me, because there's a joke kind of thing about this one guy trying to get laid the entire movie, never does, and everyone else does. And in the way, I guess that kind of tied into it, but at the same time, I just felt no romantic tension, and didn't really make any much sense to include that. But that's really my only griping with it. Like I said, I And that's really the only thing for spoilers, really. Those are the only things I really mainly wanted to pick up on, because I do think this was very well. I had a good time. It was a fun camp slasher that's not going to be for everybody, but it was for me. Let me know if you guys saw One Hell of a Summer, and let me know what you guys thought of it. Did you have one hell of a time like me, or did you feel mixed about it or not like it at all? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys soon with a brand new video.